We're going to tell some stories that come from different countries, from all over the world.
Our first one comes from the Caribbean islands.
It's an old, old tale about tiger and monkey and spider. Spider's name is Anansi, and the name of the story is
How Tiger Made Spider Build a Web. Long, long ago, in the days when the world was different, Anansi the spider and tiger and monkey were friends. They lived in the same clearing and they worked together growing their food. They especially loved sweet corn, so they planted a cornfield down by the river on the edge of the jungle. They had to work very, very hard, but the corn they grew was fat and yellow and oh so good. Every morning they went out to the field at sunrise, tiger to hoe and pull weeds, and monkey to chase away the birds. But Anansi the spider never did any work at all unless he absolutely had to. He was a rogue and a trickster. He would pick up a shovel, move a little earth, and then take a long, long rest, gazing around him. Or he would stroll back to lie in the shade of a bamboo tree. He had lots of excuses for not working.
"I've hurt my hand, Tiger,"
he would say. Or,
"I'm going to check on the lunchbox, Monkey. You're never sure who's about these days. We can't be too careful, you know."
When midday came, Tiger and Monkey were always tired. They flopped down, heavy and sweating, their backs and shoulders aching. Anansi always pretended to be tired too. Whenever it was his turn to fetch drinking water from the river, he always refused.
"I'm so sorry, I can't. I can't for sure. I'm too exhausted."
What he hoped was that Tiger and Monkey would go to the river for him, and while they were away, he could snatch the tastiest morsels from their lunch. So it went on, summer after summer. Then, one year, as their crop ripened, Tiger and Monkey noticed that every day there seemed to be less and less corn. Someone had been stealing it. When Anansi heard this, he jumped up and down and shrieked at the top of his voice.
"A thief! A thief! After all those hours I've spent toiling and working in the hot sun. Oh, my brother's after him. We must catch him at once."
So loudly did he shout, and so long did he go on, jumping from one foot to another and tearing his hair, that at last, for the first time ever, Tiger and Monkey became suspicious of him. Without telling Spider, they made a plan. That night, when the moon was full, they would go out together and keep watch. So, all that day, they worked as usual, while Anansi, as usual, pretended to work. At evening, the three of them set out for home together. But when darkness fell, Tiger and Monkey crept stealthily back to the cornfield on their own. Sure enough, there was Anansi gathering corn and cramming it into his sack as fast as he could pick it. Tiger and Monkey couldn't believe their eyes. He was working so hard. Tiger and Monkey slunk quietly closer and closer through the moonlight. Anansi went on filling the sack and filling it until it was full. Now Tiger and Monkey could hear Anansi laughing.
"I fooled them. Oh, my goodness, how I fooled them."
Anansi turned to cut one last ear of corn, and then he saw something shining. That shining was the glint of Tiger's eyes.
Tiger? Oh, this is trouble. Tiger is bigger than me. He is fiercer. He has terrible claws and teeth. Anansi, you'd better run.
He dropped his sack and took off as fast as his 8 little legs could carry him. Tiger and Monkey ran after him.
They're going to get me. They are. They are.
He ran into the jungle and up a banana tree. Monkey followed him.
Help me, Banana Tree. Please, please.
Banana Tree felt sorry for Anansi, so small, so frightened. He gave him a long, thin fibre thread. Anansi tied one end to Banana Tree and threw the other end over to Mango Tree nearby. There, the thread caught and held firm, and Anansi rushed out. He ran to the middle of the thread and stopped. Monkey could see the thread wasn't nearly strong enough to hold him. He leaned out and tried to grab at Anansi, but he couldn't reach him. Monkey was so angry he lost his balance and tumbled to the ground. He howled with pain and ran home. Anansi, feeling quite safe, waved to him cheerfully and did a little dance. Tiger wasn't going to give up so easily. He settled down to wait. Sooner or later, he thought, Anansi would need to eat. Then he would catch him. Next morning, Tiger was still waiting, and Anansi was worried.
Ummy, ummy, ummy. I'm growing hungrier and hungrier, and Tiger can sit there forever. What am I going to do?
A fly came buzzing around Anansi's head. Anansi watched it.
A fly? Hey, man, for a little fellow like me, a fly could make a meal. But how can I catch it?
Spider looked at the thread he was standing on and thought hard.
If I could make some thread of my own, very fine and very sticky, say, if I could make some thread, then maybe...
Anansi always had a new trick up his sleeve. He spun that thread and he stretched it from banana tree to mango tree, then back again, and round and round and round. The fly came buzzing into it and was caught. Anansi gobbled the fly up.
Not bad. This is going to work out just fine.
And that is how Tiger made Spider build a web.